Hey everyone, I am Vinay Kumar. Now I will be discussing about the banking and NPA crisis in India. Have you ever thought about what would happen if I take a loan and never repays it? Imagine this not happening once or twice, but on a massive scale across the country. That is what we call the non-performing asset crisis, and it is a huge challenge for the Indian banking sector and the economy as a whole. In simple terms, banks lend money, but when people or businesses who take the loan fail to repay it, the banks suffer. And when these banks suffer, ultimately the whole economy slows down. So today, let's break this into small pieces and understand what will cause these NPAs, how do they affect us, and what we can do to fix this problem. So, what are these NPAs? A loan is classified as the non-performing asset when the borrower fails to stop repaying it for more than 90 days. Think of it as lending money to your friend who never pays you back. But except here, we are talking about thousands of crores. In the year 2016, NPAs in the Indian banks had crossed a staggering 10 lakh crores, which is more than GDP of some of the smaller countries. Even today, public sector banks struggle with these NPAs, making them hesitant to give out fresh loans. And when banks don't lend, businesses struggle, jobs are lost, and the economy itself slows down. So, how did this crisis start? To understand why this crisis has happened, let's go back a little back. In the early 2000s, banks aggressively gave loans to big businesses, especially in sectors like infrastructure, power, and telecom. Then the 2008 financial crisis has happened where many businesses suffered and projects got delayed, which has led to defaults. Then in the 2016 and beyond, these NPAs peaked, putting banks under pressure, and it has forced the government to step in to do the reforms and solve this crisis. So this problem didn't appear overnight, and it was years in making. So, how do these NPAs affect you, me, and the general public? We might be thinking that okay, banks have these bad loans, but how do it affect the general public and how do it affect me? But here is how it affects us. When this crisis happened, banks will become more cautious and they will stop giving these loans. If you are a small business or an individual who are looking for a loan, getting this credit will become very hard, and also higher interest rates. To cover their losses, banks will charge very high interest rate on loans, which will affect businesses and ultimately the general public. And also, when this crisis has happened, as discussed, on a whole, Indian economy will slow down because when banks don't give this fund, the businesses will stop expanding, and it will lead to job losses and this slowing the Indian economy growth as a whole. So NPAs are not just a banking issue; they affect the entire economy. So how we can fix this? uh, like what we could be doing to solve this issue, and here are the three potential key solutions. Stronger banking regulations. The insolvency and bankruptcy code IBC 2016 has helped the banks to recover bad loans faster, but we need even more stricter laws and stricter enforcement. Then better credit assessment. Banks need to be smarter when lending. For instance, they can use AI data analytics, which can identify the potential risky borrowers before their loans turn bad. And the financial inclusion and diversified lending, encouraging more small businesses and individuals to enter the formal Indian banking system will reduce the dependency on the huge risky high value loans. But there are many barriers for this problem also, and why I will discuss why are these barriers so hard to fix. Solving this NPA crisis is not easy. There are major few roadblocks, and they are political interference. Some big corporate defaulters have stronger political connections and making the banks so tough to take the strict action against them. And then there is this inefficient debt recovery process in India. India's debt tribunals and loan recovery process takes years, which will cause more losses. And the slow legal system in India. NPA cases get stuck in the courts for too long, in many of the cases more than 10 years, delaying this resolution process. These barriers make the tackling NPAs a long and complicated process. But here is the good news. India has already made progress. NPAs have come down in recent years due to stricter laws and the better loan recovery process. If we continue focusing on transparency, accountability, and the smart banking, we can ensure that India doesn't face another NPA crisis in the future as we had the crisis in the years 2008 and 2016. So, this is the basic idea about this NPA crisis in India, and thank you.